All right, my friends, here we are. I hopefully let me quickly pop out the chat. This was a you guys don't like Eminem. I guess that's what I take from this. We only have a few handful of submissions. I hope the form just didn't screw up or something, because that would suck. But hopefully you guys are having a good Monday. We got Owen here, Jay Shiggity, Beats by Greyhound. We got Aaron, Lancelot Phantom, Graham, Kai, how's it going? But let me know in the chat if you submitted your beat and it isn't showing up here. Hopefully I'm just double checking and making sure that something didn't go awfully wrong. We got Sherb here. But otherwise, I'll just assume that you guys just don't like Eminem acapellas, which, hey, fair enough. I'm personally, I grew up listening, or he was like very large when I was growing up. Wasn't too into him. I will say that from my perspective. Where do we go to submit our beat? So you should have seen this in the school, but we have the beat making exercises in the exercise area here. And you can see the submission table is here, but obviously you have to make a beat following very specific rules. So maybe next time when I announce the next exercise, you can participate, my friend. Say it ain't so. Yeah, what can I say? Just never really connected with me. M is in my top spots for sure, but was so busy. I'm definitely bummed I couldn't get this. Fair enough. I just started seeing Miles Andrew as more annoying and selfish than a torture artist. It was hard to make this beat. The lyrics are not my vibe, but I was up for the challenge. It was definitely difficult. Yeah, I absolutely understand. Maybe next time we'll do something a little bit more straightforward with the acapella. But other than that, let's just go ahead and spin. Before we begin, I just want to also mention Cora is also doing live streams, so I'm probably going to get through all these beats in this stream, but Cora's also taking some live streaming. I believe Cora mentioned that he really enjoyed it, so those are going to be happening on Fridays for the time being. We'll probably see him do some of the more general beats in the feedback area within school. So pop by those streams as well. We want to start providing you with more and more feedback on your beats and give you some more guidance that is just more direct and hands-on. So we've been doing that. Kat, how's it going? Next time for me as well. Just here to check out what the bbHang is proposing here. Fair enough. M is a legend. Don't love it, but it's a fact. Yeah. I definitely agree. I mean, he's accomplished a lot of amazing things. And I will say, like, when I made that Eminem video on my YouTube channel a few months back, that's when I actually looked back and I was a little bit more appreciative of what he did, of just this whole sort of entity and character that he came up with. It was very different than what everyone else was doing at the time. So at the time when he came out, I was just like, this isn't for me. But looking back, I got respect for what he's done. Yeah, I definitely had moments last night where I was like, yeah, he's kind of a dick. Who are we talking about? Me? Fair enough. Wait, who's Miles Andrew? I don't know what we're talking about right now. But yeah, let's just go ahead and spin the wheel. Let me quickly grab my pen and paper. Down here, I got my book ready for the reviewing. The rhythm on M's lyrics is too tricky for me. That's a good point, actually. This was a little bit more of his old style where he was a little bit more intricate with his rhyme patterning. So, yeah, we'll go back to something a little bit more straightforward next time, maybe. Sweet Steez, how's it going? Whiplash. Oh, that was a great movie. I love that movie. But as Cora says, get them beats submitted in the feedback area in school. Give them some ideas for how we should go about doing them. Add names to the wheel or just go through them from oldest to newest. Yeah, I mean, I guess jump around. It's up to you guys, really. Or even if you want to go create like a new form for just like a Friday night review hang, do something separate. We can do that as well. I'm not too great at boom bap either. Fair. inquiring minds are still wondering what was the ice cream flavor on Friday. So I got a pack of those dilly bars from Dairy Queen. I went to go eat one, and then I just basically blacked out. I had a wild night of ice cream eating. Completely lost control. Spent the weekend in rehab, but I'm back here with you guys now. But I love a good dilly bar. What can I say? Anyways, enough blabbering on me. Let's just go ahead and spin this wheel. I'm not getting any sound for some reason. Hopefully that's not a problem. Let's start with T-Roy. Why is there no sound coming? We'll see what happens when I actually listen to the beat. Trouble T-Roy. Let's see what T-Roy has in store for us.
All I see is murder of my mind state. Makes it too late, people got to try and stop the crime rate. All I see is murder of my mind state. Murder, murder, murder. Kill, kill, kill.
Out the drive, backing out. Into backing out, this lady's jag started blacking out. Pulled the Mac 10 out, stuck it in her face, shut your yakking mouth, or blow the brain from out the back and scout. Drug her by her hair, smacked her up, figured fuck it, mugger while you're there. Jacked her up, stole her car, made a profit. Grab a tape from out the deck and knocked it out the window like the girl and set it off kid. Jet it off kid, stole the whip, now I'm a criminal. Drove it through somebody's yard, dove into this swimming pool. Climbed out, collapsed on the patio. Made it out alive, but I'm injured badly though. Parents screaming.
Go in and call the police. Tell them there's a crazy man disturbing all of the peace.
Tried to stall him at least long enough to let me leap up. Running their crib and at least leave with some little cheap stuff. Acting like they never seen nobody hit a lick before. Smashed the window, grabbed a Nintendo 64. When they sell out in stores, the price tripped. So I ran up the block, jumping kids on tricycles. And colliding with an 80-year-old lady with groceries. There goes cheese, eggs, milk, and post toasties. Stood up and started to see stars. So many siren sounds, it seemed like 1,000 police cars. Barely escaped, must have been some dumb luck. Jumped up and climbed the back of a moving dump truck. But I think somebody seen me maybe. Plus I lost the damn Nintendo when I must have dropped the mini me. Fuck it, I give up. I'm surrounded in blue suits. Came out with a white flag, hollering truce, truce. Surrendered my weapon to cops. Wasn't me, it was the gangster rap and the peppermint snobs.
All I see is murder of my mind state. Makes it too late, the cops are trying to stop this crime rate. All I see is murder of my mind state. Murder, murder, murder. Kill, kill, kill. All I see is murder of my mind state. Makes it too late, the cops are trying to stop the crime rate. All I see is murder of my mind state. Murder, murder, murder. Kill, kill, kill.
All right, that was T-Roy's beat. Survival is what it's called. Please forgive me for eating some fruits on the side here. I need to get my vitamins back after that bender of a weekend eating all that ice cream. Let's see here. Former DQ employee triggered. I apologize. Please don't tell me something disgusting like they pee in their ice cream so you make me ever go again. I love DQ too much. Actually, I just only like the dilly bars. Anyways, good mixing of lyrics there. This is cool. Love the perks on this one, says Aaron. Love the 70s rock vibe, says Graham. Love that lead. Like the bass sound in the background. With the school platform, can we submit if we used all of our submissions in the past? Yes, you can. Feel free to continue submitting. I really love all the sounds in this, but it feels the low end are a bit jumbled together. This is a funky groove in a good way, definitely not the direction I expected, but it's interesting. Gonna see if it works well with the vocals that come in. The Eminem jump scare. The low end's a bit muddy, and some keys, violins are out of key. I think this beat is really dope, but with the vocals, I don't think it's a match. There's a lot going on. Some of it works, some of it seems a bit too chaotic. Love the vibe, says Lancelot. Very interesting vibe, some 90s Scarface shit, Untouchable era. When the vocals come in, it's not a great match and seems even more busy. Hard to follow at times. Yeah, I feel as though Blizzard slander. You know what? I'm a McFlurry guy. Let me know in the chat if you're Team Blizzard or Team McFlurry. You know what? Let's start a poll here because this is that important. Choose a side. McFlurry or Blizzard. There we go. With this beat, I had the similar feeling as you guys had, which is I liked the components in this beat in terms of like the unique ideas, especially the use of that percussive sort of layer in order to fill up space in the beat. Some of the sounds were a bit unique, this whole vibe of like the guitar, an electronic guitar type of thing. A little bit of a different direction, but I do feel as though your Canadian is showing. McFlurries are only a Canadian thing, or is it the Smarties McFlurry that's only Canadian? Actually, I think you're right. Smarties is not an American thing, is it? Once the acapella came in, it did feel way too busy, and I think even during the main part of the beat, it just felt like there was a constant sense of like throwing sounds in for the sake of it, building complex patterns for the sake of it. And even some of those times the patterns themselves don't actually work in key. I think the violin or the string that comes in around here. That note there, that's just completely, it doesn't seem like it's in key. And yeah, just overall, just like the amount of small little layers coming in and out, it just felt as though this beat is just getting stuffed, even though there might not be spaces for it or if this beat even needs it. So I think it's a hard balance to hit whenever you're making a beat of just like, you sometimes feel like the beat needs more, but sometimes it just might be a better idea to use what you already have and get those sounds to fill up more. I think with this beat, it probably would have been better served if, you know, maybe that guitar was used a little bit more to fill up the different spaces in the beat, maybe adding a reverb or a delay so you don't have to then bring in like these additional layers that might not work. Or even if you do want to bring those layers in, just build something a little bit simple. You don't have to make everything overly musical, especially with how musical that core idea with the guitar was. So I just think taking this idea, stripping it down a little bit more, simplifying it would have better served the beat. The Phantom says, I like it, good sounds, it has an M vibe for sure with that funky vibe. A lot going on in the same spots, but I enjoyed it. Nice work. McFlurry all day. It looks like Team Blizzard's winning. I will not stand for Smarty slander. And yeah, I think that I think T-Roy has shown that in the past when they first signed on to the course. There's just like a lot of ideas all stuffed into one beat, and then over time I saw T-Roy sort of like whittle down and like really focus in on creating a full beat using a handful or maybe even like one or two core ideas, and then doing a good job of sort of balancing that out. I think this beat was sort of teetering back towards the stuffing way too much and making this beat be a little bit too busy. So I would encourage going back to, you know, trying to simplify. And that also just comes down to creating a very, very strong POI. It's possible that Troy felt as though since this guitar didn't take up as much room as he wanted, maybe it didn't fill up space as he would have liked. That's why there was this sort of need to add more and more and more and more. Whereas if you use a texture or a sound or an idea that's just an interesting component or an interesting standalone idea on its own, you'll feel the less of a need to constantly add more into the beat, because that's just such a unique sound or hook in your beat that you won't feel compelled to constantly add more. I'm notoriously difficult to get sample clearance from. I will sue if you make a beat out of that sound. Let me eat this apple over here. Next up we have Focus Beats. Let's dive right in and focus on this beat. I'm so funny.
In the back when he tried skate. Want the whole pie, I won't be denying Nathan. Maybe I need my head inside straightened, brain contemplating, clean out the register. Hit before somebody catches ya, or get to the scripts and it sketches ya. The connection was the prime suspect, but I ain't set to flee the scene of the crime just yet, cause I got a daughter to feed, and $200 ain't enough to water the seed. The best thing would be for me to leave Taco Bell and hit up Chess King, and have the lady at the desk bring money from the safe in the back. Stepped in, waving the Mac. Cooperate, we can operate, save and attack. This bitch tried escaping the jack. Rat about her throat, this murder she wrote. You barely heard a word as she choked. It wasn't nothing for her to be smoked. Then I slammed her on her back till the vertebrae broke. Just then, the pigs bust in, yelling freeze. But I'm already wanted for selling keys and a bunch of other felonies from A to Z like spelling bees. So before I dropped to the ground and fell on knees, I bust shots, they bust back. Hit me square in the chest, but wasn't wearing the vest.
My mind state makes it too late. But not to try to stop the crime rate. My mind state. My mind state makes it too late. But not to try to stop the crime rate. My mind state.
Left the house, pulling out the drive, backing out. Through the backing out, this lady's jag started blacking out. Pulled the Mac 10 out, stuck it in her face. Shut your yakking mouth, or blow the brain from out the back and scalp. Drug her by her hair, smacked her up, figured fuck it, mug her while you're there. Jacked her up, stole her car, made a profit. Grab a tape from out the deck and launched it out the window like the girl and set it off did. Jetted off, kid, stole the whip, now I'm a criminal. Drove it through somebody's yard, dove into this swimming pool. Climbed out and collapsed on the patio. I made it out alive, but I'm injured badly though. Parents screaming.
John, going to call the police. Tell them there's a crazy man disturbing all of the peace.
Tried to stall him at least long enough to let me leap up. Running their crib and at least leave us some little cheap stuff. Acting like they never seen nobody hit a lick before. Smashed the window, grabbed a Nintendo 64. When they sell out in stores, the price tripled. So I ran up the block, jumping kids on tricycles and colliding with an 80-year-old lady with groceries. There goes cheese, eggs, milk, and Post Toasties. Stood up and started to see stars. So many siren sounds, it seemed like 1,000 police cars. barely escaped. Must have been some dumb luck. Jumped up and climbed the back of a moving dump truck. But I think somebody seen me maybe. Plus I lost the damn Nintendo when I must have dropped the beanie baby. Fuck it, I give up. I'm surrounded in blue suits. Came out with a white flag, hollering troops. Troops surrendered my weapon to cops. What to me it was the gangster rap and the peppermint schnapps.
Alright, we'll give it a smooth fade out there because there's still like another minute left. But really interesting reimagining of that acapella. So let's end this poll here. I will not concede that blizzards are better still, though. Just know that. Hard ass low end, love it. May bury the vocals though. Really dope sounds, love the low end. D12 feels a good hard beat to match the lyrics. The bass is clean but overpowers the vocals just a bit. Depending on the sound system, it could be a problem. The vocals actually sit nice in it, even with the strong lows. It'd be interesting to hear in the car though. There's about 16 bars. He's still going. Definitely a different vibe from the original, but I think it works, even though it's repetitive and monotonous after a while. The chorus and switch up is a nice change though. Kick cutting through nicely. Some of the 808s seem a bit awkwardly placed. Imperfect canvas. Good having you here. The more I listen to this beat, the more I like it. I wish the hook had more high end to give the energy increase. I like the drums dropping out during the second verse. Great placement and tension. I do feel it's missing some air at times. Kind of has this pumping feel with the high end where it gets added then drops back to being a little bit muddy. Interesting. Norik, how's it going? Sadly, I haven't had time in these exercises, but hopefully I will participate in the next one. Been busy. Fair enough. I'm Donald Trump now. Interesting. I think the vocal quality also unfortunately creates some of that. Yeah, I do remember in the original acapella there was a little bit of high-end hissing. Stop the count. Yeah, the vocals fit well with this beat and the execution is strong. Maybe it lacks a bit of variation on the mid-high frequencies for my taste. Yeah, I really did like the reimagining here. I like the drum work as well, how the hi-hats sort of changed the rhythm over and over again. That was really interesting. I liked the small details in the beat as well. I think it was around 137. I'll turn the volume back up here a bit.
And $200 ain't enough to water the seed. The best thing could be
Where was
for
it
me
here?
I'm suspect, but I ain't
That's
set
out
to flee
there.
the scene of the crime just yet. Cause I got a daughter.
Yeah, a small little detail of a sound. Just something to go back to what we talked about before. If you have like a strong enough base of a beat, you don't need to create like a lot of complex sort of melodic ideas around what you've created. This sound here is just like a very simple sound, but it just, you know, it fits and it's enough to make the beat feel interesting and sort of bring back the listener every once in a while.
Prime suspect, but I ain't set.
I also liked the actual producing. So for example, when the second verse comes in and we go back to that sort of semi-skit within the beat, like the beat actually drops down.
The flee, but I'm injured.
Disturbing all of
Right
the
here.
peace.
Tried to stall.
Call the police. Tell them there's a crazy man disturbing all of the peace.
Tried to stall him at least.
So yeah, there's some actual like producing and going with the idea, which I liked. As the chat mentioned, a little bit more in terms of the full arrangement and like having yet another switch up during the hook might have been an idea, maybe bring up the energy levels. But I thought the core idea of the beat was good. I enjoyed it. To be true though. The vocals fit well with the beat. I already read that already. The one thing I will say is, yeah, I would say that like the core of the beat, maybe it needed a little bit of variation or even just like automation, maybe taking that core sound and just sort of releasing the filter every once in a while or something small like that would have been enough. But overall, I really did like the reimagining here. It's a trap beat, but I thought it worked well. In terms of the low end, I don't really have good monitoring for the low end, so that's something that I will have to sort of take the word of Sherb and Cora that mentioned it. But I didn't really have anything jump out to me in terms of possible low-end issues. Next up, who do we have? Pauly G. We got Paulie. I was talking to Paulie earlier today, and he mentioned that he makes beats using Reaper, which is pretty wild.
All I see is my mind state. Makes it too late. The cops are trying to stop the crime rate. All I see is my mind state. Murder, murder, murder. They kill, kill, kill. My mind state. Makes it too late. The cops are trying to stop the crime rate. All I see is my mind state. Murder, murder, murder. They kill, kill, kill.
Left the keys in the van with the guy in each hand. Went up in Eastland and shot a policeman. Fuck a peace plan if citizen bystands. The shit is in my hands. Here's your lifespan. If for what your life's worth, this money is twice then. Grab a couple grand and lay up a nightstand. See, I'm a nice man, but money turned me to Satan. I'm thirsty for this green so bad I'm dehydrating. Hurry up with the cash, bitch, I got a ride waiting. Shot a man twice in the back when he tried skate. Want the whole pie, I won't be denied Nathan. Maybe I need my head inside straightened. Brain contemplating, clean out the register. Hit before somebody catches ya, or get to the description and sketches ya. The connection was the prime suspect, but I ain't set to flee the scene of the crime just yet. Cause I got a daughter to feed, and $200 ain't enough to water the seed. The best thing would be for me to leave Taco Bell and hit up Chess King, and have the lady at the desk bring money from the safe in the back. Stepped in, waving the Mac. Cooperate, we can operate, save and attack. This bitch tried escaping the jack. Rat about her throat, this murder she wrote. You barely heard a word as she choked. It wasn't nothing for her to be smoked. Then I slammed her on her back till the vertebrae broke. Just then, the pigs bust in, yelling freeze. But I'm already wanted for selling keys and a bunch of other felonies from A to Z like spelling bees. So before I dropped to the ground and fell on knees, I bust shots, they bust back. Hit me square in the chest, wasn't wearing the vest.
All I see is my mind state. Makes it too late. The cops are trying to stop the crime rate. All I see is my mind state. Murder, murder, murder. They kill, kill, kill. My mind state. Makes it too late. The cops are trying to stop the crime rate.
All right, Paulie G. Got nice little Eminem remix there for our Monday morning. Paulie got that grime for real. Where's the gabagool? GG, how's it going? Got GG in here. I agree with Doom Traveler's comment on the page. Cerebral synth feels eerie, says Genius. Awesome sound selection and eerie vibe fits the vocals wonderfully. Love the vibe of this. Everything sounds well balanced. I like the wild takes for these different beats. What am I eating? I got a bowl full of grapes and apples, GG. By the way, last time we had a Q&A, GG showed up and he had a fox's head on his body. I was wondering, I was meaning to ask you, how did you do that? I would like to have a fox head on me currently right now. But is that some sort of AI madness? Is GG secretly a robot? I don't know. Super interesting to hear everyone's variation. This one's really dark and eerie. Some of the warping is a bit excessive. Good beat. I think he said he knocked it out of this one. I think he said he knocked this out pretty quick. I'm not mistaken. Is that crunching in the beat? That might be my mouth. Awesome variation, keeping the drums in with that quiet high-end pad. Yeah, I felt this was a really awesome beat. Love the sort of core idea of going back and forth between those two versions of the beat. The one that had that sort of warpy synth, and then we had a little bit more of a stripped-down idea with full drums. Just kept the beat interesting. I think just having those two ideas was enough to make the beat feel compelling throughout. Paulie's got some of my favorite vibes, says Aaron. So that new picture you have is really with you with a fox hat on. I don't know how Gigi did it. Like, he's literally like sitting at his desk, and then he's like moving around, and it's just like it's basically just like this. But imagine me, like, as I move around, I have a fox's head that's like turning around, and it's like superimposed on me. There's I guess it's like those people that go on Twitch as like an anime girl. I assume it's the same technology. I want to be an anime girl. That sounds like it'd be some fun. The one thing I will say is that the hi-hat felt a little bit too hot. I think it could have just been the amount of seemingly distortion added on, or maybe it's just the shape of it. I thought, you know, since the beat has a lot of highly sustained sounds, having that long of a hi-hat just felt a little bit overwhelming. This is a little bit of a nitpick. Yeah, there's a little bit of distortion now that you mention it. But just controlling that hi-hat, I think just bringing it down or just changing the shape of it, I would have preferred that balance. I think that would have helped a tiny bit. But overall, like, the core idea in here is phenomenal. Pauly did all the big things correctly. Everything in here felt like it had its own space. All of the beats or ideas within here had a strong POI, so that was great. Streamers do it too. Yeah, aren't Twitch people streamers, or you mean YouTube streamers? Oh, like a lawyer in Zoom court as a cat. Was that a real thing? I think I remember seeing that video. I will not be a waifu. I am not down for that lifestyle. Unless I should get like a pillow made of me and have that as merch. Would you guys like that? He lost the case, right? All right. Let's just keep spin. Next up, we've got the Shiggity, who is here with us today. And let's see what the Shiggity has for us. Yeah.
Left the keys in the van, what the guy needs hand. Went up in Eastland and shot a policeman. Fuck a peace plan, if a citizen bystands, the shit is in my hands. Here's your lifespan, if it what your life's worth, this money is twice then. Grab a couple grand and lay up in Iceland. See, I'm a nice man, but money turned me to Satan. I'm thirsty for this green, so bad I'm dehydrating. Hurry up with the cash, bitch, I got a ride wait. Shot a man twice in the back when he tried skate. Want the whole pie, I won't be denied Nathan. Maybe I need my head inside straightened. Brain contemplating, clean out the register. Hit before somebody catches ya, or gets to the scripts and sketches ya. The connection was the prime suspect, but I ain't set to flee the scene of the crime just yet, cause I got a daughter to feed. And $200 ain't enough to water the seed. The best thing would be for me to leave Taco Bell and hit up Chess King, and have the lady get the desk bring money from the safe in the back. Stepped in, waving the Mac. Cooperate, we can operate and save an attack. This bitch tried escaping the jack. Rat about her throat, this murder she wrote. You barely heard a word as she choked. It wasn't nothing for her to be smoked. Then I slammed her on the back till the vertebrae broke. Just then, the pigs bust in, yelling freeze. But I'm already wanted for selling keys and a bunch of other felonies from A to Z like spelling bees. So before I dropped to the ground and fell on knees, I bust shots, they bust back. Hit me square in the chest, wasn't wearing the vest.
All right, that was Marvel Murder. For some reason, my mustache is tickling my nose. I don't know what that's all about. Anyways, let's see what the chatters is saying. Whoa, says Aaron. Sound the war drums. Could be an intro of a Lord of the Rings movie. Speaking of war drums, like there was no war drums in it, but I watched Furiosa again for the second time. I would say that Fury Road, the Mad Max movie that came out like 10 years ago, is probably my top 5 movie. It is in my top 5. That was such a good movie. Just felt like sharing that. This one feels cinematic, like the build-up in a movie to a robbery scene, like the one in the song. It's so epic. Always such a large, crazy, energetic production. Love the style. Will be interested in hearing the vocals. Very epic and mean so far. Hans Zimmer type beat. Did not expect the epic cinematic soundtrack. I like the large sounds with a more minimalistic take on the beat. Should be interesting when the vocals come in. The scream effect was cool. The tension energy always blows my mind, being able to meld epic beats with the vocals and have it work. I can see the story in my head like the story from NF. Lets you envision so well. Maybe your nose hairs got to trim them bad boys. Could be. Let me know in the YouTube video that comes out tomorrow if you can spot my nose hairs. I don't know if Eminem would rap on this, but I enjoy it, says Graham. It's because the beat was a mustache tickler. I'm trademarking that. This is tough for me. It started over like 3 times. Glad you all... I can't even see that word. Goddamn YouTube. Dig it. What was I going to say? Yeah. Very well produced, very cinematic, just like you guys mentioned. I like the small little details all throughout, and it did feel as though all these different ideas sort of moved the beat or sort of the musical piece along. And in the same way that you guys are mentioning, I can sort of envision this being used as like a cue for an actual movie where, like, you know, there might be the bank robbery scene when they all flood in, and then you have that sort of synthy part in the middle. I think it's like over here. I can't remember what it was, but like maybe that's where the person's like trying to unlock the safe or something. You guys get what I mean? In terms of how this fits into a hip hop idea, I'm not entirely convinced. Maybe just because I'm a little bit more of a traditionalist, but I did feel as though, you know, with the vocals or the idea of this song, it's sort of one long story of a guy like sort of, you know, doing a bunch of different felonies and crazy stuff. And it felt as though, while some ideas fit that motif, because the music sort of had so many different like ebbs and flows and went into different sort of emotional places, it sometimes didn't feel like it aligned with what the performance was doing. So maybe just like a little bit more of a straightforward loop-based beat, although, you know, I do want to encourage experimentation and pushing your ideas along. I think it would be hard if an artist heard this and tried to figure out a way they could use this in a more conventional song. But hey, maybe this is not meant to be used in a conventional way, which is fair enough. It would have been nice to hear how this chorus sounded over the piano chorus he had. Says Sherb, the heart is so annoying. Why did they add that there? Add it to the top where you already read. Yeah, I know. I have to like move this stupid thing around so I can see what people are saying. But yeah, definitely well produced, and Shiggity is showing off his moves here for sure. I just think a little bit more of a loop-based beat is something that I usually look forward to. And if this is meant to be more of a hip hop song, then I think Cora mentioned that NF uses beats like this. Do they move quite as much as this in terms of like the overall ebb and flow of the beat? Or is this like the new wave the kids are rapping on? Maybe I'm just an old outdated buffoon. That's completely possible. Is it Gigi? Whoa, the wheel is getting naughty. Gigi's up next. I feel bad for Sherb. This is like the 4th time that Sherb has been like a finalist on the wheel, and then he had to wait till the very end. The wheel can be mean sometimes. Gigi's up. Let's dive in. Let me quickly pop into the chat here. I'll be the wasabi in your sour cream. F the rules. Fair enough. Fair enough. No, they stay fairly consistent, but just huge. Yeah, so I think just the idea of just more of a sort of loop-based idea makes sense, even if it is a large cinematic feel. That makes sense. All right, here we go.
In the van, with a guy in each hand. Went up in Eastland and shot a policeman. Fuck a peace plan, if a citizen bystands. The shit is in my hands. Here's your lifespan. If it was your life's work, this money is twice then. Grab a couple grand and lay up a nice man. See, I'm a nice man, but money turned me to Satan. I'm thirsty for this green, so bad I'm dehydrating. Hurry up with the cash, bitch, I got a ride waiting. Shot a man twice in the back when he tried skating. Want the whole pie, I won't be denied Nathan. Maybe I need my head inside straightened. Brain contemplating, clean out the register. Hit before somebody catches ya. Get to the description and sketches ya. The connection was the prime suspect, but I ain't set to flee the scene of the crime just yet. Cause I got a murder my mind state.
Makes it too late if the cops are trying to stop the crime rate. It's murder my mind state. Murder, murder, murder. It's murder my mind state. Makes it too late if the cops are trying to stop the crime rate. It's murder my mind state. Murder, murder, murder.
Halfway through this, I just realized this picture is absolutely wild. It's terrifying. That pick is crazy. I really like the melody that came in. I love the piano and the West Coast vibe. That dry UK humor. The drums feel like they are cut off too soon. I love the strip down when the Vox came in. This is smooth, makes it feel like M is taking too, well, I really like the groove of this, and it even works better when the vocals come in. I'm not a fan of the main synth melody. That sound there, I believe that's a stripped guitar, maybe. I think that's what you're referring to. I love the idea, but something seems odd at times for the tempo. Seems to get a little slow from the vocals only during the hook.
Clean out the register. Hit before somebody.
I think it's just not completely aligned. But yeah, with this beat, I really like the patterns that were built. A good job of maintaining balance here. So with that sort of stabby pattern, it's a little bit more straightforward. It's not too complicated, which opens up the door for that guitar pattern or melody that comes in that's a little bit more fast moving. But since the beat is constructed in a well-balanced way, nothing feels as though it's like fighting or anything, and everything feels like it has its own place. Aaron says, there's something that makes me have a hard time catching the pocket though. Could just be me. It's like Eminem is talking to himself. So yeah, overall good structure to the beat. This is just for me. Oh, it's that synth that you're talking about. There's something about that main stabby organ or the stabby electric piano. I don't know, something about it just doesn't really feel enticing to me. I don't know if it's a strong enough POI for me, or maybe just taking the pattern or taking some of those notes and having a little bit of sloppiness or something. Maybe adding like some, an accent, or maybe shifting one of the notes to be a little bit different. Something about it just feels like after a while it's just like similar idea over and over again. That could be it too.
Left the keys in the van, but yeah, needs hand. Went up in Eastland, shot up police.
Yeah, the drums are good. Bass line is exactly what the beat needs.
Your lifespan. If it was your life's work, this money is twice then. Grab a couple grand and lay up a nice.
Yeah, this part of the beat feels very balanced.
I'm thirsty for this green, so bad I'm dehydrating. Hurry up with the cash, bitch, I got a ride waiting. Shot a man twice in the back when he tried skating.
Maybe it feels maybe somewhat robotic because it feels as though every single stab is the exact same length. Maybe just like having some stabs be slightly longer, slightly shorter, so it feels a little bit more human. And maybe, again, like I said, shifting some of the notes so it isn't the same phrase playing over and over again. Maybe one of the notes in that chord is playing a little bit late at times. Something small like that might be the thing that's sort of jumping out to me. Jay Shady says the organ staccato is a little off timing wise. I think that's what's throwing it off. Okay. Something about that is throwing me off as well. Yeah, maybe a bit. When the main sound drops, it feels like it comes together very well. Yeah. I think once that stabby organ comes back in, there's something about it that feels somewhat like stiff or rigid. Shift a little later in time and it should be okay. Would give the beat a deeper pocket. All right, thank you for that, Shiggity. Even adding some effects to seemingly shift it slightly, or add rhythm with a delay. Yeah, that could be an idea as well. I think slightly more work needs to be done to that organ, but overall, I think this beat has a good set of bones on her. And a great job of structuring and building on all those patterns as well. That was a very good job. We got 4 beats left. Is Sherb going to be chosen? No, he is not. Sorry, Sherb. It's happening again. Kai is up next. Let's see what the Kai Master General has for us. And let me know in the chat, by the way, if you guys want, or if you guys have any suggestions for a specific genre or type of acapella you guys want to do for the next exercise. Let me know. I'm also going to wait until I think like Wednesday or Thursday to announce the next one, just because on school it requires you to wait 72 hours before you're able to email everyone. And I sort of want to encourage more people to get involved with these exercises. Maybe we'll grab a Kendrick Lamar acapella. I don't think we've done a Kendrick Lamar one yet. But yeah, I want to encourage more people to get involved and actually participate in these. So yeah, I want to announce it and send emails out, but I have to wait 72 hours every single time. Therefore, we will do the next announcement for the next exercise on Thursday or something. Anyways, let's see what Kai's got.
and stop the crime rate. All I see is murder, murder, my mind state. Murder, 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 kill, kill, kill. All I see is murder, murder, my mind state. Makes it too late, the cops are trying to stop the crime rate. All I see is murder, murder, my mind state. Murder, 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 kill, kill, kill.
Left the house, pulling out the drive, backing out. Knew the backing out, this lady's jag started blacking out. Pulled the Mac 10 out, stuck it in her face. Shut your yakking mouth, boy, blew the brain from out the back and scalp. Drug her by her hair, smacked her up, figured fuck it, mug her while you're there. Jacked her up, stole her car, made a profit. Grab a tape from out the deck and launched it out the window like the girl and set it off did. Jetted off, kid, stole the whip, now I'm a criminal. Drove it through somebody's yard, dove into this swimming pool. Climbed out and collapsed on the patio. I made it out alive, but I'm injured badly though. Parents screaming.
Johnny, going to call the police. Tell them there's a crazy man disturbing all of the peace.
Tried to stall them at least long enough to let me leap up. Running their crib and at least leave with some little cheap stuff. Acting like they never seen nobody hit a lick before. Smashed the window, grabbed a Nintendo 64. When they sell out in stores, the price tripped. So I ran up the block, jumping kids on tricycles and colliding with an 80-year-old lady with groceries. There goes cheese, eggs, milk, and post toasties. Stood up and started to see stars. So many siren sounds, it seemed like 1,000 police cars. Barely escaped, must have been some dumb luck. Jumped up and climbed the back of a moving dump truck. But I think somebody seen me maybe. Plus I lost the damn Nintendo and I must have dropped the beanie babe. Fuck it, I give up. I'm surrounded in blue suits. Came out with a white flag, hollering troops, troops, and surrendered my weapon to cops. Was it me? It was the gangster rap and the peppermint schnapps.
That was Kai's beat there. Impressive beat. As long as it's not another Baby Keem acapella. You guys are not a fan of the Keemster. Really liking this stutter glitch sound underneath at times. I like this. That little synth and the strings play nicely together. This is another interesting take, but feels thin. Both the piano keys and the strings are missing some body to them. Really nice, matches the beat when the lyrics come in. Great variation and arrangement. Smart job of using silence instead of cramming more sounds. Great point there. I think a little more movement in the notes of the bass line could inject a bit more funk. I want another kick drum. There it is. I think the beat works well with the vocals and the vibe. Just realized it was my speakers. Had to switch my laptop speakers. Now there's body. Another bass line that's more musical when the... agreed. Another bass line that's more musical when the beat strips down. The violin, it's crazy. I love it. God, I hate my laptop sentiments. Thanks for the feedback. I really appreciate this, Kai. Yeah, I think this was probably my favorite idea that Kai has created so far. Just a unique set of sounds here for sure. I really love that almost like classical orchestral feel to it. Yeah, I'm interested to hear, Kai. Like, did you program those strings yourself? Because those felt like exceptionally real to me, almost like a live recording. The POI was definitely strong. I loved every single element in this beat. Nothing felt stock at all. The sort of muted piano felt fantastic. The strings felt very sort of mature and very authentic. Impressive work all around with the sound selection. I didn't mind it, but it got stuck in my head for days. Thought I was going to get murdered in my sleep singing it constantly. The Savage Planet challenge was huge for me as a producer. That's not really into sampling. Yeah, we do throw in a sampling challenge or exercise every once in a while. Sick beat, Kai says GG. No, it's sampled. Oh. The string sounded great. But yeah, great job of putting those pieces together. Because everything did definitely feel very flawless, and you're layering there with the different the different sample ideas worked phenomenally. I don't really think that there was much in terms of something that jumped out to me as like problem-ish.
Seen nobody hit a lick before.
There were times when the higher string in this beat moved quite a bit in terms of, like I talked about in the chorus, whenever you have a sound in your beat that moves very fast, that's what the audience is going to sort of focus on, just because that's the way the human ear works. And I think there were times when maybe doing a little bit more of a simple idea would have been better, or maybe just simplifying the entirety of the beat and just have that very fast string play, because it felt like it sort of overwhelmed here and there, but that's a bit of a nitpick. I think just overall, this was a really, really cool beat, and I enjoyed it. The string sounded great. That can be one of the harder instruments to get sounding right. Yeah, I definitely agree. I like the classical vibe, says Aaron. Ever since last Friday, it crashed during a Zoom I was having, and it hasn't been the same. Now it crashes like every 3-5 minutes. Not sure why. I can't seem to fix it. That's frustrating. You have an SSD or HD. Could be the HD failing. That's terrifying. All right, let's see if the wheel has heard Sherb's torment, his pain, and thinks, let us bless the Sherb. He's been waiting here for so long. Let's let him hear. Maybe not. All right, it's going to continue to torture Sherb. So the Phantom gets chosen almost smack dab on the name. The Phantom is loving this, seeing Sherb get tortured. So let's jump right in here.
Left the keys in the van with a gat in each hand. Went up in Eastland and shot a policeman. Fuck a peace plan if a citizen bystands. The shit is in my hands. Here's your lifespan. If it what your life's worth, this money is twice then. Grab a couple grand and lay up in Iceland. See, I'm a nice man, but money turned me to Satan. I'm thirsty for this green so bad I'm dehydrating. Hurry up with the cash, bitch, I got a ride waiting. Shot a man twice in the back when he tried to escape. Want the whole pie, I won't be denied Nathan. Maybe I need my head inside straightened. Brain contemplating, clean out the register. Hit before somebody catches ya, or get to the scripts and sketches ya. The connection was the prime suspect, but I ain't set to flee the scene of the crime just yet, cause I got a daughter to feed. And $200 ain't enough to water the seed. The best thing would be for me to leave Taco Bell and hit up Chess King, and have the lady get the death spring. Money from the safe in the back, stepped in waving the Mac. Cooperate, we can operate, safe and attack. This bitch tried to escape in the jack, grabbed her by the throat, this murder she broke. You barely heard a word as she choked. It wasn't nothing for her to be smoked. Then I slammed her on her back till the vertebrae broke. Just then, the pigs bust in, yelling freeze. But I'm already wanted for selling keys and a bunch of other felonies from A to Z like spelling bees. So before I dropped to the ground and fell on knees, I bust shots, they bust back, hit me square in the chest. Wasn't wearing the best.
All I see is murder, my mind state. Makes it too late for the cops to try and stop the crime rate. All I see is murder, my mind state. Makes it too late for the cops to try and stop the crime rate. All I see is murder.
Let's see what the chat is saying. At this point, I want to be last. Being last is my choice, not the wheels. All right. We'll see what happens with this last spin then. I like the energy and tension. I'll double check that. I think it's my docking station. Docking stations do have a habit of screwing things up. Don't let the wheel control you. Great drum and bass programming. Feels to be missing some higher end though. Maybe a quiet whistling back layer underneath the piano pad. This is a cool beat. I like the various changes and dropouts to keep it interesting. Brian, how's it going? I really like the drum programming. The snare is quiet to me though. Feels like it's missing something to keep the attention of the listener, but it has good bones. I don't think the vocal would work as well as they do, though they did fall off towards the end. Good basses, but it feels like something is missing on the higher frequencies. Yeah, I feel the exact same ways. It's interesting because, like I mentioned with the program, a lot of the times using or introducing higher frequencies into your sound can help it feel or appear a little bit more close forward or a little bit more in the back. What's interesting with this beat, which is that the drums have a very dark or sort of have less presence at the higher end, and so they feel very pushed back because of that. And none of the sounds themselves have much of a sort of higher presence either. And so what ended up happening with this beat is everything felt like it's all sitting in the background. It didn't really feel like anything was forward or stuck out in the beat comparatively to other beats where it has like a good amount of depth with the drums being a little bit more forward. You know, you get your POI and you have sounds in the background. Whereas with this beat, everything felt a little bit too close in one single dimension. You can even hear the hi-hats seem to have reverb on them. And like that sort of RP sound, it has a lot of filtering going on, so it's sitting in the background. There's just nothing that's forward in the beat overall, and I think that's what hurt the beat quite a bit. I got a dip, unfortunately, have a doctor's appointment to Mob 2. See you later, Cora. But yeah, I think just repositioning some sounds, taking the extra step and really understanding how to control depth and introducing a better sense of depth within this beat probably could have helped, just because like you guys said, I do think this beat has good bones. I really like that arpeggiating pattern. There's a good amount of different shapes to these beat sounds in the beat as well. We have that sort of arp, we have these more sustained sounds in the back, but the problem is everything just sits in one plane and one depth, and it just ends up feeling like one sort of big piece of sort of hard to understand mud. So yeah, I do feel it was rather flat. Good feedback, thanks. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I think just controlling the depths a little bit more will help. Is it going to be Romain or John? At this point, John has said he wants to be last. He says it's his choice. The wheel will not choose him here. Otherwise, if it does, he is forever cursed. All right, Sherb has been chosen, so the wheel disobeys his wishes. And we will listen to Sherb's beat, and then we'll finish off with Romain's. But Sherb has been betrayed once again.
house, pulling out the drive, backing out. Moved backing out, this lady's jack started blacking out. Pulled the Mac 10 out, stuck it in her face, shut your yakking mouth, or blow the brain from out the back and scout. Drug her by her hair, smacked her up, figured fuck it, mug her while you're there. Jacked her up, stole her car, made a profit. Grab a tape from out the deck and knocked it out the window like the girl and set it off did. Jetted off, kid, stole the whip, now I'm a criminal. Drove it through somebody's yard, dove into this swimming pool. Climbed out and collapsed on the patio. I made it out alive, but I'm injured badly, yo. Parents screaming.
Johnny, go in and call the police. Tell them there's a crazy man disturbing all of the peace.
Tried to stall him at least long enough to let me loop up. Running their crib and at least leave with some little cheap stuff. Acting like they never seen nobody hit a lick before. Smashed the window, grabbed a Nintendo 64. When they sell out in stores, the price triples. I ran up the block, jumping kids on tricycles and colliding with an 80-year-old lady with groceries. There goes cheese, eggs, milk, and post toasties. Stood up and started to see stars. So many siren sounds, it seemed like 1,000 police cars. Barely escaped, must have been some dumb luck. Jumped up and climbed the back of a moving dump truck. But I think somebody seen me maybe. Plus I lost the damn Nintendo and I must have dropped the beanie baby. Fuck it, I give up. I'm surrounded in blue suits. Came out with a white flag, hollering troops. Surrendered my weapon to cops. Was it me? It was the gangster rap and the peppermint schnapps.
All I think is murder, my mind think. Makes it too late, the cops are trying to stop the crime rate. All I think is murder, my mind think. Murder, 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 kill, kill, kill. Murder, my mind think. Makes it too late, the cops are trying to stop the crime rate. All I think is murder, my mind think. Murder, 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 kill, kill, kill. Murder, my mind think. All I think is murder, my mind think. All I think is murder, 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 kill, kill, kill. Murder, my mind think. All I think is murder, my mind think.
All right, that was Sherb's beat there. Shady Thoughts. Impressive beat for sure. All right, let's see what the chat is saying here. Reverse psychology, it works. Spanish guitar is a very nice primo to me. I love the mobbing feeling to this beat. Can't wait for the vocals. Loving this, says Gigi. I love that drop in. The samples and instruments are beautifully chosen. Really like the way the snare is hitting. The melodic instruments fit so well together. I don't think we hear enough bass lines in the higher register. It really giving that extra punch, but the last note of the line is screaming to hit the root note to my ear. The drums are crispy. I went into this going for more of an Eminem style beat and came up with a rather quickly, to my surprise, first time making an M style beat. Good variation, nice sounds, smooth mixing. Since I know M beats, especially his older stuff, is bassline heavy, I started with that, which I never do, and it came all together. Interesting. Changing your approach there had great results. I love hearing a thicker lower end in the bottom at one point, though. Great variation between the instruments, too. Yeah, I don't really have anything negative or anything to recommend changes, any changes to be made. Just phenomenal job with all the different layers in here. The great patterns. I love the small amount of details throughout. The drum pattern provided extra or excellent amounts of pocket. Love the back and forth in the arrangement between the sort of more orchestral part of the beat and it goes down to like that more vibraphone part, but it felt like it had like a good amount of consistency because a lot of the same textures show up throughout those different two ideas, and you didn't switch up the drums or anything, and so I think that's what helped maintain the arrangement consistency as we go from one idea to another. Yeah, I think this experiment paid off well because I don't have anything in terms of things that jumped out to me as like definitely needs to be changed or anything. I don't really have anything to nitpick either. I think this is just an awesome beat through and through. So you crushed it. Last beat of the day. Who will get chosen? It is Romain. Romain de Groot. Let's take a listen. And then like I mentioned, the next assignment will be announced probably on Thursday. And then we'll see each other next Monday though for the next Q&A.
All I see is murder, my mind think. It's too late, the cops are trying to stop the crime.
The keys in the van, what he got in each hand. Went up in Eastland, shot a policeman. Fuck a peace plan, if a citizen bystands, but shit is in my hands. Here's your lifespan, if for what your life's worth, this money is twice then. Grab a couple grand and live in Iceland. See, I'm a nice man, but money turned me to Satan. I'm thirsty for this green, so bad I'm dehydrating. Hurry up with the cash, bitch, I got a ride with. Shot a man twice in the back when he tried skating. Want the whole pie, I won't be denied Nathan. Maybe I need my head inside straightened. Brain contemplating, clean out the register. Hit before somebody catches ya, or get to the scripts and sketches ya. The connection was the prime suspect, but I ain't set to flee the scene of the crime just yet. Cause I got a daughter to feed, and $200 ain't enough to water the seed. The best thing would be for me to leave Taco Bell and hit up Chess King, and have the lady at the desk bring money from safe in the back. Stepped in, waving the Mac. Cooperate, we can operate and save an attack. This bitch tried to escape in the jack. Rat about her throat, this murder she wrote. You barely heard a word as she choked. It wasn't nothing for her to be smoked. Then I slammed her on the back to the vertebrae broke. Just then, pigs bust in, yelling freeze. But I'm already wanted for selling keys and a bunch of other felonies from A to Z like spelling bees. So before I drop to the ground and fell on knees, I bust shots, they bust back. They was wearing the chest, but wasn't wearing the vest.
Alright, that was Gramo's beat called Masky Comeback. Let's see what the chat is saying here. Feels like a mid-2000s Chemical Kick Drum mixtape remix. Really digging this one. Really nice breakdown. Kick and bass are really fighting for space though. Dark Toy Soldier feel to this one. Some of the shots are repetitive and expected. Snaps are a bit loud. The vocal timing seems off though. Unfortunately, would have loved to hear a little bit more in the pocket. Yeah, such an interesting vibe. I really like all the different elements adding to the personality to this beat. Yeah, I feel like Graham made his life a little bit harder than it needs to be, because using such a huge bass like this really limits the amount of sounds and ideas you can start to include. Yeah, that's why I'm very, like, I used to love using basses like this as well, these sort of huge sustained constantly playing basses, but for hip hop beats oftentimes it just doesn't really seem to work, because for that very reason of, you know, there's very little that you can add after that and still have a balanced beat where the vocals cut through. And so throughout this beat, I felt like, you know, it was missing something that had like the POI, something that feels like a little bit more unique, just because the bass in and itself just took up way too much room and nothing else was able to like stand out to me. So I think the next time you make a beat, just be a little bit more cognizant of how you're filling up your spaces. I know it's like a very quick and easy way to make the beat sound very full using a bass like this, but I would recommend trying to push your beats to sort of, you know, figure out a more unique way, or figure out how to sort of build a POI that is a little bit more unique with an actual instrument, as opposed to just, you know, throwing in bass and a huge bass like this and drums and having the beat be 80% full. It just sort of sets you up to make your life a little bit harder when you're actually trying to add sounds after. Makes sense. The bass fills up too much space. Yeah, I think that was the main thing that jumped out to me with this beat. Other than that though, guys, thank you for showing up and hanging out with me. We're going to have another stream on Friday hosted by Cora. Next Monday, we're going to do another Q&A. So drop by if you have any questions. You can play your beats. If you have a very particular question you want to show me on your screen, if you're struggling with something, we can do that during the Q&A. Anything goes during those things. But other than that, I will announce the next exercise on Thursday, which will be due on the 24th. And other than that, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your week. Bye for now. Ta-ta.